Stone. That's what you wanted, right?
Nicky with that form, nigga.
Little do they know I got the pesos. Yeah. Little do they know I got to say so. Yeah. Little do they know I give a fuck about a trick. Little do they know I came from nothing to rich. I hear them screaming, run, 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 run. I can see you watching, nigga. Little do they know I got that sound. Little do they know I run the town. Yeah. Judge a man by the look in his eyes when you see him, man. You can lose that bread, don't lose that love. Don't lose it, no. Strong will won't bend nor fall. Little nigga, but I will stand tall. Bricks on my back like a laborer. I serve it up like a caterer. We all about loving you hating us. Bread's hard and they don't know. Red bone, she won't go. Bet she leave when the bread go. I remember waking up at night, thinking where mama at. Grabbing Bobo out the bed, looking for her in the dark night. Man, the shit that I seen, I don't wish on nobody, but believe it made me stronger. Look at
Couldn't hear you, but I think we're live.
Yes.
And boy, it's Legends Night tonight. We are doing this stream live out of Staples Center. They let us rent it all out because we have to pay respect to the legends. Current, past, present, now. Who do we got, guys?
Lakers in 4.
That is a good call. Lakers in 4. But Mike Lazzo, Genndy Tartakovsky, the heavyweight division of development meeting is on right now.
For your dreams to be crushed, just like ours were sometime through the career.
Genndy, you seem to take off pretty quick. I don't know how many dreams you got crushed.
Yeah, be honest. You never got a no before.
Oh, I have. Of course I have.
I was just teasing, but that's a good question.
Actually, 2 from Mike in the middle of everything.
What were these no's?
Really?
And how were they delivered?
The first time I pitched Primal, Mike said no.
Okay. See,
I love that you said that because the story that's out there is completely different.
The beef.
I don't remember that at all. Genndy had said it before, though.
It was
before.
Yeah, it was the thing of it was not the beginning, kind of the beginning of Adult Swim, and he was doing just pretty much comedies, no action yet. And I was like, let's do something hardcore, and then you were just like, Genndy, we got to have a writer's room. We need comedians, and I was like, all right, maybe next time. So
we're talking about 3 Emmy-winning Primal right now. Is that what we're talking about?
We are, yes.
Wow.
I'm
glad it got made.
Yeah.
I think Primal is Gendy's best show. Best thing ever.
And then
it's amazing.
You said that you had another no in the past, or what comes to mind?
And there was this other show also around the same time, and probably because I was desperate and I had my own studio and we weren't doing well, and I pitched another show about this Victorian age and stuff, and Mike also said no.
You gotta stop just pitching to this dude. You know, it's a.
I remember saying no to that. But again, these were early Adult Swim. I mean, we had just started the block, and we had no money, and we couldn't make very much.
Right.
And I was just, it was basically like 10 of us at William Street just making bullshit. And Genndy was a total pro. But what's interesting about tonight is the first pitch I ever took. Genndy and I were talking about this back in the early days when Turner bought Hanna-Barbera. I went out there and it was the beginning of the What a Cartoon program, and Genndy was in the first section of pitches with Dexter, and it's the first pitch I actually remember getting.
So tell me this, because we work when we're in the office next to the Cartoon Network studios, and I've just heard through animation, through being there for 10 years, it's like, oh, this studio started kind of because of Genndy. Like, that's something that I've heard, and I'm like, it started because of Genndy or maybe a few people, or is that the case?
Not me. It was Dexter, Powerpuff, Johnny Bravo, Count Chicken. Those were all the beginnings. And then it was during we merged with, after Hanna-Barbera was getting shut down, the building, the facilities. That's when they started to look for, because we love being there, obviously, because of the history of the building and everything. And then, it was during the first merger with Warner Brothers. So we were solely Turner. And then when we got merged with Warner Brothers or bought whatever, that's when we moved. And that's when we were trying to find a home. So it was during the Powerpuff days and the very beginnings of Samurai Jack. Like when we moved into the new studio, I started Jack, basically.
I'm curious, Genndy, how did you used to pitch? Like, did you bring in specific materials, or was it a Bible? Because we've talked about your storyboards on here, which we could talk about later, but they're sort of the most amazing thing that I feel like we get as a proof of concept. But I'm just curious, back then, how did you get in?
It was kind of the same thing. You kind of pitch a storyboard. That's kind of how it was. Like, you have an idea and you have a loose Bible, but then you basically you pitch a board. I mean, the key to, and I didn't realize this till later, it's all about being a salesperson. You have to represent yourself, and it's really hard because I'm not, I'm socially fine, but you don't realize that you have to be really, there has to be something special about you in the room that people go like, oh, I want to give that person a show. And it took me a while to realize that. And because the more meetings I had in Hollywood, the more I realized everybody's batshit crazy, or they're putting up an act because they're like, wow, that person's so crazy, they're artistic. So I'm going to give that person a show.
I like that you said that, and all we know is that you keep pitching Lazzo. And you're like, damn, these people are crazy.
The outside world is crazy.
You know what's interesting about the early Hanna-Barbera is that when I first went there, you could see the old Hanna-Barbera and kind of like these old animators. And out in these trailers in the parking lot were Genndy and these young animators. And it was kind of the beginning of, a change in animation, which was there at Hanna-Barbera. And then, of course, Warner Brothers kind of mucked it up for a while. But it was really interesting. And Genndy was talking about being a salesperson. I remember his pitch because he showed his student film of Dexter, and the timing was just unbelievable. Later, you came to realize that Dexter was amazing because of the personality work, because of the characters Genndy does, and that's really borne out in Primal with no dialogue. It's so emotional. But there were other pitches in that same meeting that were just kind of really extravagant and Hollywood, and those were not the better cartoons. Genndy's kind of artistic take was the one that actually became the great cartoon, but he was absolutely not the person that came in and bells and whistles with Dexter. And Craig McCracken was in that pitch or that session, yeah.
Creator of the Powerpuff Girls.
Dick Hartman and Pat Ventura. And walking in, Fred Seibert, who was so instrumental in bringing Hanna-Barbera back, was like, Pat Ventura is the hit. But when we saw Dexter, it was like, that's the one.
Yeah, and pitching is really difficult, especially, you're walking into a room, there's, sometimes 4 people, 10 people, and you have to have a confidence about you. I found that to be very important. You have to know your material, right? And you have to deliver what it is about the show. Because I think a lot of people get into the mythology and they're so excited about their show, and it's a gigantic world, right? And you get into all this minutia, but then the people that are there have heard 10 pitches already. Right. And so to get to the heart, what your show truly is, and then the best pitch I ever had was with Mike at dinner. And I said, I want to do an action show, and it's a samurai stuck in the future killing robots. And that was literally, that was it. And of course we had the benefit of having gone through Dexter and Powerpuff together, but still it was the clearest pitch. And Mike goes, yeah, that sounds good. And that was it. And then we started rolling.
Well, let's do this because I want people to get a chance to pitch to y'all. We've got 5 people, so people are kind of virtually walking into the room you're talking about.
And it is stiff in here. Let me tell you, it's going to be very harsh today.
Jordy, we should do the rules and stuff.
Yeah, I bet there's new viewers right now. So the rules: if you are pitching and you want us to click on a link for either a deck or a video you want us to check out, it has to be in the Adult Swim chat. We do not click on links in the YouTube chat or the Twitch chat. So please drop those links into the Adult Swim chat. And please fill out a release form, because if we choose you and we want to give you money, you have to have that release form filled out for us to pay you. So those are the rules. It's 2 rules.
I think it's going
What did you say, Lazzo?
I'm just thanking Sally for liking my hand.
Shout out to Sally. Yeah, no, Lazzo, I'm seeing a lot of comments in here saying that the drip is immaculate today. So, go off, King.
What is the drip? It's the drip.
Your drip, your swag, your fit is immaculate, is what the chat is raving about.
Let's bring somebody in. Let's get it going. Oh, yeah.
Hi, hey,
Hey, what's up, man?
Hello.
Welcome.
What's up?
Hey,
Thank
how
you.
you doing?
I'm gonna drop this pitch in this chat real quick so you can see the document first.
I love it. He knows the deal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, I know the deal.
That's all.
And hopefully this YouTube link works. We got a little sizzle reel for you to start, but this pitch is pretty about as rock solid as you can get. It's like
excellent.
it's
Oh,
how do we
fuck, we
describe
don't
it?
need to look at it.
It's kind of
then.
like if some doomsday it's like if some doomsday preppers had a talk show. It kind of feels like it's in like a VFW hall, but like you're on a bad acid trip. And what we like to say is it's like a doomsday prepper bad acid trip version of like Pee-wee's Playhouse, but it's a little more conversational where we're at right now. So I'll let you guys take a look at that sizzle reel, and then we can.
Do I see dong?
Diesel?
Move on from there.
Yes, Lamborghini. One. Our fathers killed each other in the Vietnam War. Two. Let's have some fun with food. Three. Thank you for bringing all these flies and crap into my house. 4. This isn't over. This isn't over. Mommy's here, Lamborghini.
Little Lion's Den, it's like a real man's play place. A blue-collar disgrace, a freakish hideaway.
Little Lion's Den will have a much bigger fan base. You'll see them in your trap face. It'll haunt your nights and days.
Little Lion's Den, every week you can stream a creepy talk show with Diesel and me. Little Lion's Den, it's on video. Every week you have something to look forward to. Little Lion's Den, you'll see us both for the first time. You'll watch us commit crimes and hate to say goodbye.
Little Lion's Den is like a real man's play place. A blue collar disgrace.
Alright,
Very good.
Little Lion's Den.
Do you want to take this one?
What's that?
I was just asking Genndy if he wanted to take this one.
This one's a little different from my traditional sensibility. So I'm going to pass that one to you, Mike.
I thought so. Okay, well, I'm the weirdo, so stuff like this is generally gonna appeal to me to some degree. I think it's interesting. It's clearly influenced by Eric Andre, and it takes a parodistic take on talk shows, both of which we've seen. Okay, so I think you gotta go someplace a little newer than a talk show takeoff, and you kind of need to make more sense. Okay, it's kind of a lot of crazy shit, and I think if I were your friend, is this the show or is this the guy we're talking to?
No, he's
It's
over
the show.
here. There he goes.
I think if I were your friend, I'd like it. We'd be making some crazy ass shit, but you got to have some compelling aspect. Right now, it's just kind of a bunch of tied together nonsense under a talk show banner.
Like the one thing I would say also is like Mike was saying, like we have a group of friends, right? You have your thing, and everybody finds your stuff really funny, and it seems like it's going to work for everybody, but there has to be some kind of something that's going to appeal to more people. You know what I mean? So it's got to be, there's probably some idea there that's really good, and you have to like keep squeezing it and pushing it and going here and there, and maybe it's developing whoever the host is or the puppet to be more clear and appealing, because it's still, no matter what it is, whether it's kids cartoons or super adult stuff, it's all about character, and you want to do something that's something specific about the character that you want to tune back in for.
That's
so
right.
Let's watch some character stuff. We have whole episodes on here, and that was just a montage of just some clips. Like this is based off of a college radio show that we had for like 5 years, and it was
Nice.
So these are pretty developed characters, and then
Do you
as
have
soon as
a
we
bit,
went online with
a
it
link on deck of like sort of a character, sort of sketch that we can get a sense of? Or you could just, tell us who he is.
Getting some feedback.
What is that feedback? Yeah.
You're breaking up a little bit to me, but okay. You want me to do a character breakdown? Is that what you said?
No, let's do this, because here's the thing: when you call in, this is you've only got a couple minutes. So the montage was pretty fun with the song. You're gonna be number one on the board, so you got that. We'll see if you can stay on the board. But we want to get as many people in. But then we'll check it out. We have the Bible and everything.
Send the materials in the chat, and we'll be sure to take a look.
You got a interesting brain.
It's a good step.
Jordy
element.
would say, if I'm channeling Jordy, she would say, "You got to make me care."
That is part of it.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
It is.
I mean,
all
yeah,
great
thank
points. I think it's important. The next pitcher or whoever, like, if you're gonna send a link, make sure we kind of have it queued onto a spot that maybe like gives sort of like the most interesting, light, or sheds the most interesting light on what the show is. Like I think that the montage is kind of a hard thing to open on, but for instance, if you're trying to showcase a character, let's see what the character is off the bat.
Yeah, I think a difference between like a montage and maybe like a sizzle of like, hey, these are some great moments in the show. Like the montage kind of like lulls. You don't get those kind of spikes and like what I think we need in like a sizzle reel. It should be like beat of like different moments in that one.
You got to go in with your best. That's always right. You got to lead with the best. That's gonna just
totally
grab you. Yeah.
Mike Lazzo is a famously anti-montage.
He really is.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
He really is. He was. I'll quote him to say that he would usually call that a crutch. So
let's get somebody else in.
Always paired.
They are
we have
setting
a lot
them
of
up right now. Looks like they're not ready, but we can throw a question to you. This is a one you guys can answer, I'm sure.
Questions.
Say I have the perfect pitch. Where would I be a year from now?
Who wants this one?
At the bank.
Woo! See? See?
At the exact same place you are right now.
Damn, that's deep.
Well, let's see. Let's actually take if they pitched it and we were like, "This is incredible," we would immediately buy it, put it into development. Probably, let's say it's animated. So, Lazzo, where does that take us on a pilot? Unless you're going straight to series.
Oh my God, the legal would take a year.
So, book that in there.
Okay. So
Yeah, you'll be in the same place, is what we're saying.
Yeah.
You'll be really happy you sold it and miserable adjusting it and changing
Well,
it. And
Genndy had a student film, okay, of Dexter. He pitched it in 1994 and it aired in 1996. So
2 years is about right.
Right. I think the quickest I've seen since I've been here is 8-9 months to see like a full pilot in color done out the door since pitch. That is a very fast.
That's fast.
That's a fast timeline.
The two quickest things I've ever seen in my life were Bush World Adventures, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So Kuzak's thing, and then Max did 5 hours
Right.
match for April Fools.
Right. Those were very fast.
We
Well,
should say,
we
I
got
don't
a
think we
call
mentioned
already.
that Primal's coming on Sunday. It's 11:30, I believe. We should have mentioned that up top.
October 4th, yeah.
Yeah.
Don't miss it.
everybody knows.
I think they
That's
do.
the thing.
It's what the world's
That's the
talking
thing
about.
is everybody's aware. It's a hot one.
Yeah.
Gonna get that.
No, but we're
You won't
stoked.
want to miss it. Yeah.
This season is a certified banger. Is there any? Well, we'll wait after the call. We got a caller.
Hello, Colin.
Hello.
I go by Pan. Yes, hello. I'm
Hello.
gonna just drop my link in the thing. Hello.
You're a
Awesome.
bit muffled. I don't know if your mic
Hello?
is covered. No.
Oh no, it should be fine. Can you hear me?
He's got sound baffling
I
behind him.
guess. I don't know.
Yeah, you have
Okay, sound back a
speakers
little bit?
coming out of your ears. It's awesome.
Oh my.
Oh,
Wait. I didn't mean to mess that all up. No, you were fine before. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Oh man, my good mic
that's
is not
way
working.
better.
I guess.
Yeah, that's better. Okay. Did you say you dropped a link?
oh,
Well,
you muted yourself again.
Hey, this
Hello?
is like prompt
You want the link?
dialogue.
Hello.
All right, you're back.
okay, you're back.
Just tell us what the link is. What's your name in the chat?
Oh no.
All right, maybe we better move along.
Oh boy.
We can hear you now.
I don't think you can hear us.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
All
Yeah.
Oh,
right.
now
Okay.
I can hear you now. I'm so sorry.
It's all right.
It's all good.
Okay,
Okay.
but yeah, you want the link?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, here it is. It's basically like, I guess I would compare it to Chalk Zone meets Ball Masters
What's the name in chat?
under Rebel Taxi.
Okay, gotcha.
Rebel Taxi, the yellow one.
Yep. It's moving so fast. Slow down, y'all. Damn it. I'm trying to chase this link down.
Whew.
Why
The
don't you tell
radio's
us
gonna
about?
hang up on me.
Oh, here we go.
Glorious Loki.
right.
Do you want to?
Right.
Is there a link or is this just a deck?
Yeah, it's just this, a slideshow of, just scroll through it.
Great. Well, why don't you walk us through it?
Okay, well, essentially it's a world where people can bring art to life and have it fight each other. Like I'd mention a sketchy art style like Ball Masters, because I love that show. Yeah, but it's for any medium, like clay, puppets, charcoal, and taxidermy. Any sort of a thing can be turned into brought to life as art.
Okay. So what's the structure of like an episode?
Oh, it'll be explained in the slideshow, but yeah, I'm just going over. This is just over the characters of just who they are and stuff. But essentially, the idea is that they have an app that assigns what they want to do. They want to fight, or they want to go have a cooking competition or race or whatever. It's just people challenging each other in these pieces of art.
Who are the people?
Which people? The main characters?
Yeah.
Yeah, there are two narcissists. That one, the girl is is an artist that wants to cheat to win, but the other one is a cartoon supervillain brought to life, but he's a lawful evil supervillain. So they're both kind of bad people, but they're kind of balance off each other. One's more fair, one's more just ruthless. Yeah. And no, you can't just bring any superhero to life and then have them be like the most powerful. Everyone here can easily die.
We should get the structure of the episode because I'm still
Yeah,
not certain
yeah.
what the show is.
Dang.
I
Well,
mean, art is cool, but
Are you watching the Whereby or the Zoom stream?
Zoom stream?
Or I wouldn't be looking at the Adult Swim stream. I think there's a little bit of delay. I just don't know if we're
Oh, sorry, yeah.
following.
I am looking at the thing. Yeah.
Yeah, through Whereby you should be looking at it.
Yeah. I'm. Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry. Mhm.
Well, why don't you maybe try to take us through an episode?
Okay. Well, essentially, like, it is based off a webcomic that I'm doing, but essentially the first episode is them just having a fight in the middle of a supermarket. But if they cause too much damage, they had to pay for that. But the thing is, they want to win, so they can't be too ruthless and stuff. Yeah. Also, yeah, you can bone cartoon characters in this world and reproduce.
Awesome.
I mean, if you could live in a world where you can bone cartoon characters, wouldn't you do it?
I mean, we'll talk about that. How does that work? I mean, just anybody who wants to procreate in this world is just welcome to, or how do you see that? Okay.
I mean, look, you ever see Cool World? Don't you want to live there?
I haven't seen Cool World, but I'm very interested with this procreation situation. That's very wild. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm fully getting where it goes. I mean, maybe take us through another episode briefly.
Mm-hmm. Essentially, I don't know. In general, the format would just be them taking up challenges through that app that I mentioned before, where, you know, one could be a race, one could just be them just, I don't know, any sort of talent show, any sort of cooking show, any sort of that. It's just taking up challenges all over the map.
Are they all there's an animated universe of all different styles of animation. Then there's an app that fits the people against each other.
Yeah.
And what do you get if you win?
People stream them for fun, so it's, you know. What was the question? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think we're just trying to get the clarity of the concept, right? So you've got the world building, which is a lot of animated characters all live in this world. Now you've got an app that you can battle in with the two different styles, which is intriguing. You want to see stop motion fighting 2D or whatever. That's kind of cool. But then what's beyond the surface? Like, what is it about? Like, what do you get if you win? What, right?
Essentially, these characters want fame any way they can get it. And to do that, they just want to actually, like, I don't know, they want money. They want to get fame, like, for different reasons. The supervillain just knows that he gets more powerful the more people are watching him. But the other character, the human, she just wants to support her family and stuff. So it's just basically essentially odd jobs, but live streaming. They're essentially content creators.
Yeah. But I think you've got a really interesting world, which is sometimes even hard to get. And I think you need to find a focus and an accessible drive, right? Because that usually is what hooks you in. It's something that we can find somewhat accessible and interesting because we've experienced it or we think about it. Love, sex, like you said, you know, maybe everybody's trying to get laid, I don't know, or survival or whatever it is. But there's a simple get for the character's drive. And then that simplifies the idea. You've got your world, you've got your drive, and now you can build stories around that.
Mm-hmm. So
yeah,
what am I missing? So motivation, essentially.
Here's the thing: you are on the board. You're in early. I don't know where you're on the board, but you're on the board. So thank you.
You do that art?
Huh?
Did you draw that? Did you illustrate?
Oh yeah. This is all mine in my graphic design.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some cool ideas. I mean, Eric, we can let him go for now, but I think just to talk about, I think there's some cool ideas in there. I think it's, you know, it's a lot of pressure to come in on the show and then have it like really simply laid out in like a minute or two. But I'm, we'll check out the deck. I'm excited to. He had answers. I don't know if we got there easily, but he did have the answers. So like I said, it's a challenge to get across your idea very quickly. But we'll check it out.
It's funny, an idea like that. I don't know if he's a full animator, but he's talking about all these fights. So I'm like, dude, just show me an animatic or some storyboards, because it's so much of it seems to be based upon these fights, and I want to see it be cool.
And I got some Pokemon vibe, and I was excited. But if you really break down Pokemon, it's very easy to just break it down. You get it immediately.
And I think it's kind of, Genndy, you touched on this earlier, how you're like, you might get so caught up in maybe the rules and the backstory of this and miss kind of the nugget in the core of your show. And I think that's kind of, it's a very common thing. But I think
it's really, and I know like these, we're all so excited about our ideas, and then we're our own worst enemy because we can't.
Right.
We're so excited. There's so much cool stuff, but you guys are just looking for this,
right?
And all
definitely look at it differently than you, for sure. But you're totally right. That's great advice for being like on that side.
And it doesn't mean that you don't need that. I think you need
absolutely.
Texture and everything in your project. But
it's like if you're pitching Finding Nemo and you go, it's about the ocean.
Right.
Right. It's always useful to take your idea and try and boil it down to something like 7 words. You could describe Nemo, with just a few more words, and you would nail the movie.
Describe a Space Ghost for us, Lazzo.
Talk show host or superhero talk show.
There it is.
Stupid superhero talk.
Let's bring somebody in. Eric, you got someone?
I do.
Ooh, hello.
Oh,
Whoa.
wow, I hate
Nice.
this a lot.
I've been waiting for
No.
a digital
No.
pitchy.
Oh, that's me. I'm like,
I
I'm
know.
looking.
Yeah. Mm-mm.
Yeah, sorry, I couldn't find very many good photos to make 3D faces off you from. I need like high
I know.
resolution.
I was
things, so.
hoping.
He's all over Twitter now. He's out of
I like it. I'm into it.
Yeah, I gotta give you a better
that's
view of
good,
this.
So, so what's the pitch?
Okay, so it's like a Space Ghost inspired talk show. It's not Space Ghost, don't worry. I'm not stealing any Space Ghost. But it's sort of like just a talk show which lasts for about like an hour maybe. Starts off, I introduced a guest. I've had a lot of lovely guests already. I've been doing the stream for about 6 months now. Learned a lot. I have a little intro video prepared for them, and then we talk for about 15 minutes about who they are. And then we have a little gotcha segment where I sort of pretend that I've dug up something embarrassing from their past. Then there's another about 20 minutes of talking after that, and we end with Lightbringers, which is just something that rounds off the show. It's something nice that's happened to one of us, and something that's brought us light in these, dark times.
Do you have a clip that we can watch?
Yeah, I've got a gotcha clip. Part of the. I just posted it there.
Let's do that. That sounds cool.
All right, I got it here. Stand by.
Wicked.
Somebody said I look yummy in that 3D, and I will agree. I look yummy.
Go back to Homestuck for a second. And embarrassing moments from history. I did find your first ever animation ever in history.
Really? I wonder what it is.
Yeah. So I'll put it on now. This is the gotcha segment where I get you. So.
Okay, I'm ready to get got.
Okay. Go back to the watch together for a second.
Oh, sorry. There we go. My bad.
Okay, here we go.
There I am. I'm ready.
I am Ian Worthington, and this is my wife, Homestuck. Now I'm going to the bank to withdraw some money for sausages.
Excuse me, sir.
How much money would you like to take out?
I would like to take out a mere 0.001%.
Sure, here you go, $10,000.
Thank you, sir. Now I am going to purchase some sausages. I sure do love to walk to the sausage shop.
Hello, I would like to steal your belongings.
Excuse me, sir. That is wrong.
Oh, sorry about that.
It's okay. Don't do it again.
I sure won't, mister.
I would like to purchase one sausage, please.
Here you go.
Yeah, that's about the end of it.
He has Zadora.
Say again, sorry?
I was just looking at your credits.
Oh, this is just ripped from an actual. That's the only real credit. Chris Murphy does the voices there.
Oh.
Okay. So, are there more segments to your show, or is it like one gotcha segment per episode, or?
Yeah, mainly. I did want to, because I don't really have a lot of time to work on it part-time, but Jack Allison would help me write more segments if you wanted to do this like full-time. And, you know, I would like to sort of like maybe explore the fiction of the world a little bit. The sort of premises that I'm like recording an instance of the person I'm interviewing, and then a supercomputer is gonna basically recreate them by simulating the universe a million billion times, and then they'll live forever in heaven or hell or whatever, you know. But it's not really like a serious thing, you know. It'd just be nice to do some more sketches, like dawdling about, you know.
Okay, so it's like your own variety show, but there's, you know, sort of like sketches and segments that you sort of pepper in. But the host is you as this sort of avatar, right?
Yeah, definitely. And this is sort of like based on my face. Could be a character if you wanted, but I quite like my own face, you know.
Got it.
But yeah, it's not like a laugh a minute thing. It's sort of quite a somber. You know, we do talk about more serious subjects, usually towards the end, especially. But you know, it is obviously a lot of tongue in cheek, poking fun at the guests sometimes, and they poke fun at me, you know.
Got it.
Okay. Again, it's another talk show, or is that just part of your pitch?
Yeah, it's mainly a talk show. I would like to do like a game show as well. But yeah, basically a talk show, yeah.
What is it with talk shows?
It's an easy format. You know, the template is liberty to do whatever you want, but that is also unfocused and tough,
Like a
right?
sketch,
To your point earlier, Lazzo, which is what separates this idea from everybody else doing talk shows, I guess.
Yeah, I mean that's a good point. Like,
look,
I wouldn't say I'm. Sorry. Yeah. So you're
What was
cutting
that?
out for me.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay. I mean, I think we got it.
Yeah. Did you get the
Look,
pitch stuff?
Look, for me, I think you might even be on the top of the board for me, but I'm not making the call today, and we'll have to evaluate it at the end. But I think we got it. It was good stuff.
Oh, that's
you.
wicked. Thanks so much.
Yeah.
Hi.
Thank you.
All
Ready
right.
to get a look at the board?
Eric, only talk shows from here on in.
No problem. Yep. We haven't got enough of them. All right, so this is in the order that they were pitched. So if you guys want to rearrange this board,
You can wait.
Yeah.
you can wait. All right. Well,
Get
they
another
set
one
the
in.
next.
Go with Loki. Loki's in the lead for me.
All right.
Ooh.
I think it's interesting. You know, the world could be interesting. That I don't get the characters, and as Andy said, what's driving you through that. But it was interesting. It's the most interesting part of it, and it wasn't a talk show.
True.
All right, well, we wait for the next caller to get set up. Let's throw you another question.
Hey, Dawn.
Hi.
How old do you have to be to pitch an idea?
Damn,
Is
that's a good
this
question.
for dev meeting
Yeah.
or in general?
I don't. I mean,
I don't-
technically, I don't think there's an age range. I
Is
mean,
it a
there-
release?
there-
Do you have-
there's laws in states for kids working. There's like working with a kid actor, you can only work on it for so long. But I don't know. We're Adult Swim. You should probably be old enough to watch us.
True.
Yeah.
Genndy, how old were you when you did your first pitch? And that includes like at school.
Oh, well, I mean, to my friends or like to something official?
A little official, but if you were really serious about it, even with your friends.
The thing is, back then, none of us ever dreamed about having our own show. It wasn't around. Everybody was in their 40s who had shows. So in our 20s, that was unrealistic. So, I mean, we pitched storyboards, but that's not the same thing. Yeah, I think Dexter was really the first thing. I mean, I had a job where I had to pitch myself to get the job, but it wasn't like pitching my own idea. It really was Dexter, I think.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's it.
How old were you?
What?
How old were you?
24.
Yeah. So you have
Damn.
to be 24.
That was right because
That's a tough age to be, honestly.
Well,
24 is young.
Yeah.
when you were there at Cartoon, because Seth MacFarlane's there and he's gonna do Family Guy when he's around that age too, right?
Yep.
Am I wrong about that?
But he had this show called Larry and Steve that was
Right.
kind of like Family Guy, but a very raw version of it. And I think you guys did a pilot of it. Maybe you didn't. I can't remember. You did, right? Yeah. But yeah, like we're all starting out, and nobody. That's the thing. There's very few people who are who they are right away. I think Craig McCracken was probably one of them. Like Craig had a sensibility with like the Whoop-Ass girls in school, and he did No Neck Joe. So he already had something going for him. I was still trying to figure out what my voice is. And again, it's like, I'm just doing stuff to get a reel, not to have my own show. So Dexter was born because I wanted to animate a girl dancing. And I had to make a student film. So I go, well, I'm going to have Dee Dee. What's the opposite of a dancing girl? It's a little boy scientist. And that was it. And so at least I had that right. I was going after a relationship. And then I threw the concept on it and it kind of got stuck. And so, so it takes a while to find your voice, find what you really want to do, find who you are. It's hard.
Totally. That's an interesting point you bring up about back then, you not dreaming of having a show because, Missy, Jordy, and I, we talked to SCAD last week, and all of their animation students are now, the faculty's hearing that like all of these younger students now are just like, that's the dream. That's the goal now. It's not just no longer working for DreamWorks or whatever. Like we're trying to hone our voice in now to get to, a place where, Primal, Samurai Jack, and all these other places.
That's when I lecture at schools, at colleges or whatever, art schools, that's all I talk about. I go, everybody should be making films, a ton of films right now, crappy films, get all those out.
Right.
And you're going to learn so much from each film, and you got to finish your film, no matter how bad you hate it in the middle, you got to finish it so then you could learn. And then the next film is going to get better. And so that's the thing. You have all the tools. It's like incredible.
Right.
You have all the tools. Like my son who's in college, he's 19, he animated a fight sequence. He's like in med school or trying to, be a doctor or whatever. But he was just sitting around at 4 a.m. and animated on one of the, on an iPad, this whole fight sequence.
Mm-hmm.
right? And it's amazing. So if you have the drive, the tools are right there to do
Totally.
something.
Yeah, the programs are so advanced now.
Oh my god, it's crazy. I had to make my own peg holes for paper. Back in the day.
How does it feel to watch? Because I imagine when you're starting out and you too, Lazzo, it's like, oh, there's animation, and now in the entertainment industry, it's literally the hottest like section of show to get into. Like, oh, like it's almost like the number one thing to do is try to do an animated show. Where I feel like when you were doing it, that was not the case at all.
Nauseating.
Yeah, I understand that for sure.
Listen, the people that are really driven with talent, I mean, it's great because they'll get noticed.
Yeah,
you know, there's more opportunities now.
Right.
Hi.
Yeah,
All right, we got a
looks
caller.
caller. Do you
What's
have
up?
a pitch? Or, sorry.
Yes, I do. But real quick before I do that, I'd like to say that two segments ago, that guy, I'm a big fan of his. He's a really cool. He has like that whole thing figured out. And also, Finding Nemo is my favorite movie, and you were talking about that. But okay. In Adult Swim chat, I posted my link.
We rarely see callers come in and big up the last pitch, so that's very noble. And
I like it.
I like that.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of the show, and I'm a huge fan of all of you guys and Pan Pizza. That he's like a YouTuber and he makes cool content. So
wow. Okay.
Good to know.
Which show? Which the lion one? Which one do you like?
The one where it was the like sketchy art style. That guy.
Oh, okay.
Loki.
Loki
IRL.
Yeah.
What do you got for us? Since you're so humble.
I have a quarter-hour horror animated show called DodaDox, and the log line is right there. Wait, no, the log line's like a few slides down. Let me get on the slide so I can talk about it. It's 2D characters adapting to a terrifying claymation world. 7 words to try to.
All right.
So I'll just I'll try to explain a little bit more. Actually, I don't know. This is my first time doing this. I'm sorry.
All good. Just read your document because I think the stream is a little probably behind. So.
All right. Well, the setting is that the DodaDox live in the Glot, which is this massive living sort of flesh-like cave. There are many rooms set that I have planned out for like creepy moments, and I have like the main place where they'll live. And there's a concept map right below that, and the next few slides show off the characters, which are the main focus of the show. They are basically silent little drawings that I did back when I was in like first grade, and I've just kept with them and kept redrawing them. And once I found out about development meeting, I was like, okay, how can I turn this into something I could pitch? So the main character is Reebly. He's sort of the leader. He's pretty nerdy. He's very happy-go-lucky, and he's very intrigued by weird things or whatever he sees in front of him, and he lacks any situational awareness. So like he's very wholesome at heart, but he has no idea like anything creepy that's going on. He's just happy to see it. And then Crazy Bob, who's sort of the sidekick character, he basically follows them. He's a very simple character. He stands for what's right. He's like the good guy basically out of the main 3. And then there's Entitled Green Dude. Don't have a name for him, but he will sort of be the straight man to all of the chaos that could happen in the show. And pretty much all of the other DodaDox characters won't realize how all these scary moments they won't realize how messed up everything is, except for him. So he'll be like the foil to the main character in that way. And then you'll sort of see some of the creepy stuff with the head, who is sort of the basis of the show. None of the characters talk except for the head, And at the beginning of every episode, he'll say a single word, and then Reebly and the other DodaDox will have to figure out what that word stands for, and like figure out, like it could be bike, it could be trust, it could be any sort of word, and then they're gonna have to figure out what to do, what lesson to learn, or like an object to give to him. The next 2 slides explain sort of how that works and how they can be successful or unsuccessful. And then in How the Head Works Part 2, that shows sort of like the gross claymation tube that I'm gonna have, where at the end of every episode, when they successfully please the head, they do the right thing, a new DodaDox will be created to sort of ease the people into each new character, and so it can show off the personality slowly over the season, and it can, instead of it just being whiplash with a million characters all at once. The next slide show other potential designs. I have a lot more than this. And then on slide 17, there are the clay creatures, which will basically be the claymation aspect of the show. They're not the DodaDox. The DodaDox are these 2D doodle sort of animated characters. The clay creatures are more are usually grotesque, or they have something unsettling about them, and they're usually the focal point of each episode, and the characters have to sort of fight them. Well, not fight them. It could be anything like that. And then there's the synopsis. I basically sort of gave off the synopsis of the show already, but a question you guys might have is, how does the show work if it's all just a bunch of like surreal, disjointed episodes? Well, it has this strict structure that I planned, sort of because it'll be mainly episodic.
You do watch the show. Big shout out to you. You go off.
Thanks. I've been watching for like a year, and I haven't missed a single episode. I love this show, dude.
It's a good show.
And the rest of it's just basically more concept art. And one, you guys talked about storyboards earlier, so I grabbed some rough boards I have for like a sample episode I wanted to try to finish in time. So those are like the last slides, and then I just have more concept art of like what the show can look like, more designs, stuff like that. Okay, I'm done talking for a second now.
I love this.
Yeah. Say the 7-word description again.
Let me go back up to it. 2D characters adapting to a terrifying claymation world.
Well, look, I love your art, but I'm a little bit lost in the overall.
Here's Dalton Cam.
Yeah.
That's an old drawing. That's back before the quarantine days.
Remember that? Wow.
Look, I'm with Lazzo. So, like I'm into the art, and I think I like it. I'm kind of buying you as someone I think who has something almost as much as I'm looking at the show, and maybe there's something there. I don't know.
Yeah, I think like what you initially pitched is really good, and there's something there as far as 2D characters stuck in a horrific claymation world, and they might not know how to get out. They might not know what they're doing there. I don't think it's going to work if they don't talk and just the head talks and it says.
Coming from the guy that's done 2 shows of
because in your character descriptions, they're really fun characters, right? And so I don't know.
I was scared if you were going to say if it's good or bad that they're going to be silent, because I was like, oh wait, I'm pitching this show where they're silent, and then this guy did one of the best shows ever where they're silent. So.
No, but it's a hard thing, and you've got all these little nuances, and the character designs are very specific, and you've got a lot of personality to these characters, and there's a relationship. So I think you're going to want them to interact and to solve these puzzles, right? And I think part of the big pitch is it's a horror show, right? Which we really haven't seen, except for anime or whatever. But it would be fun to lean in on that, and because as you were pitching it, I was getting ideas, which is usually a good sign that there's something that my brain understands. And you could even do a thing where, like when you're watching a horror show or a movie, you're just on the edge of your seat because you know there's going to be some kind of shocking thing coming, right? What if you feel like that every half hour, right? So every show, you know there's going to be like just out of the corner, just randomly, it could be, ah! Right? And you don't know in this horrific world. And so you're always watching the show waiting for this thing to happen. But that's just just a thing that popped up.
Like a style, I'm a huge fan of like the 4 a.m. like creepy content, so I sort of wanted to build this off of that. I do agree that I mostly focused on the characters here rather than the monsters and the sort of like horror elements, but I have a lot of that stuff written out and ideas. I'm hoping to do a good job with that. And man, I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought for a second.
No, listen, I think you did a great job explaining the characters. I think I'm with Genndy totally. Like it was a little bit of a bummer to know they don't talk, because I think you could do a lot with that. And then also, your show is a horror show. Lean into that. We should, I don't know if next time, I really like this pitch, but we're running out of time. I think I would like to see you lean into that. Maybe your documents kind of go that way, but like that's the show to me,
Yeah, that's very true. In my sample episode, I have like a few moments. What I want to do is like, sort of like a little bit how Alan Resnick did it, but way more in a graphic sense, with his horror, where it sort of just like upsets you. It makes you unsettled. You're not sure what's going to happen, where it doesn't really rely on jump scares. And I have a few moments like that in the sample episode, so I'm hoping to sort of build on that. And next time I call, I'll hopefully have the sample episode done.
Yeah, let's do that.
Voices.
Come back with a sample episode. That'd be awesome to see.
And one of the main reasons why they don't have voices is mostly because I'm like one person. I need to, and I have friends. I know like some people that are voice actors, like through Twitter and stuff. So I could try to get more voice actors, but this was more of a thing that I was doing. Like, oh, this is my own thing. But it would be good to have voices. I have ideas for them, but I just wasn't sure if it'd be good or bad. But thanks for the advice on that. I should give them.
We'll get it to a place where it's good, no matter how long it takes. Don't show us until you're really, really ready. But I liked it. I don't know if you guys have any more questions.
No, I think you're on like the right path to figuring it out, and I think taking everyone's notes into account will really help it.
Don't be scared to, make it yourself using your voices. When Genndy sends a primal in, he's drawn everything and he's done every single voice, including all the sound effects, which always make me laugh. So, you're just trying to sell the idea in any way you can do that. As Genndy said earlier, make one and then throw half of it away and remake it and just kind of hone it until you think, okay, this is it. This sells it.
And one little piece of advice.
You're interesting for sure.
Yeah, one little piece of advice: if everything is unsettling, the world, the characters, the acting, the stories, then it's going to be the normal, right?
Yeah. Exactly. So what I'm hoping to do is sort of give it like big unsettling moments, like just a few times throughout each episode, and a lot of the episode will just be the characters that are, most of them are pretty wholesome, nice characters. They're like childhood doodles, hanging about and trying to solve issues, and then there's like big moments or even just tiny moments sprinkled throughout. So it's gonna have the atmosphere where you're like, I don't know what's going on, but I want the creepy thing to end so I can just get done with it. So like the jump scare, but without the jump scare, sort of horror.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, you can tell me to fuck off. That's okay.
Wait, did I?
No.
It's all good.
No, you're good.
Dude, you're gonna be very high on this board. We're gonna do the board right now. Thank you for calling.
Yeah,
that was awesome.
You.
Thanks. I didn't.
Vanish to the shadow world. All right, let's take a look at this board.
DodaDox.
Solid day. DodaDox is the one we just heard, so I'm guessing that's going to be
Lazzo
moving
and
up.
Genndy, you guys figure this out.
Yeah.
You got $1,000 divided over
You have
the
to
top.
figure
Hold
out the
on.
order and
big
then
bag
divvy
alert.
up. Oh.
Oh boy.
Over the top 3. Yeah.
For sure, DodaDox is number 1, right, Mike?
Totally.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's because it seemed fresh. It seemed original, interesting. You're going to a place that not a lot of people have, and your art was cool. You've got a good idea.
All right, the number 2.
All right. So we got number 1 locked. How do you feel about number 2 and number 3?
Is that it? Are we not taking any more pitches?
That's it.
Oh, wow.
That's it.
It's 7. Yep. And
It's the quick hour.
Yeah. Oh, it's been an hour already?
Unless you want to go OT.
Genndy, we will hire you. I was going to tell you. I was learning a lot. Not only learning, but learning a great way to say certain things. So
it is so fantastic to have you on because, like I said, you can speak to the creators directly where we have, sort of a different way of looking at it. But
Putting on a
anytime you guys want to come on, please.
we have the space. Look at all these squares.
Yeah, you got to pay your talent.
all right, do you still have Loki IRL number 2? Lazzo, I know you liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got it number 2.
And then is it Megaspel or?
Was that the first one we saw?
No, Megaspel was the
talk show?
creepy talk show, and then Little Lion's Den was the creepy one. So there are 2 talk shows. Which one did you guys like better?
Okay. Can we just split the money between the first 2?
Yeah.
You can, but you still got to give a 3rd slot. You can give them nothing.
The fuck is that?
Who dies?
All right.
Genndy.
Break someone's heart.
Well, at least the Megaspels had, I think, was more figured out, and it was a little bit. I chuckled a couple times during the getting the sausages, the gotcha.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so
I didn't.
yeah,
I'll say I didn't expect the gotchas to go where they took it. I was very surprised. So
I was surprised to ever hear somebody pitch a show that is kind of meandering and they just go about their business.
right.
I appreciate that. So yeah, this feels good.
So now you got $1,000. You got to divvy it up.
Wow.
It is true that money doesn't have to go to all 3 on the board, but
that's pretty mean. But
it is pretty mean.
I don't think it's that mean. I've never thought.
Yeah, Cam has done it before.
Maybe like 5, 350, 150.
That was very fast.
Damn.
Yeah.
I mean,
We should definitely
need
have
him on the
another
show for
Shormo.
Simple math issue. Okay. What do you think, Lazzo?
Lazzo's trying to add up what he just said right now.
No. I was going to give Doda 999.
Hey, I would be with you. I would give Doda. I would probably get up to 7, but
Yeah, we could sort this. This is not locked in yet.
Yeah, let's do that then.
What do you want to do?
7.
7?
What about 7, 250, and 50?
That's the compromise.
I like that. I like that.
Lazzo's very extreme. He deals in extremes. So
Lazzo wanted to sow some
Genndy brought him back down. All right, we got.
You know, hook somebody up. Hook somebody up.
Yeah, no. Look, if I think it was clearly the best, and they're like, hey, if you're gonna really just bet on the best one. I get that.
I think that's awesome.
This whole thing was awesome.
Yeah, this was
a great
one for the
hour.
books.
It is enjoyable. I have to say, I watch this every Thursday.
I feel like this is a good episode for people to look back on. I think Genndy, Lazzo, you guys gave some. Really great...
Genndy is amazing. I mean, you should be on every week, Genndy. Okay.
Genndy, one thing we got to talk
you want
about.
to spend your Thursdays like this?
Gotta get some more budget.
These are hard learned facts. You know what I mean? Hard learned from years of toiling and not, I mean, I've been very fortunate, obviously, because you've made a lot of my stuff, so thank you. But going out there in the real world, it's hard, and you got to be clear, and so yeah, so it's with blood, sweat, and tears, a lot of tears. So yeah,
Think about
It's great advice.
it. Sure.
We've got to show at least a snippet of one of your storyboards at some point, because it's very much, I think that would be very inspiring to the people watching, because what you do is for not a lot of characters talking, there's a shitload of emotion that you get, which is extremely hard to do.
I mean, just think about Primal, a show with no dialogue, okay? That for, a half hour keeps your attention. That is just shocking to me. And it also shows how different Genndy was thinking about storytelling. It's just highly unlikely that you would see something like that, ever.
You're gonna see it Sunday at 11:30 on Adult Swim.
Segue.
Well, that's also, I think something that I learned is to be me. And if sometimes that's successful, sometimes it isn't. Just because space pirates are popular doesn't mean you should be doing it. So you got to find your own niche. And luckily, I love Conan, and so this is like my version of that feeling that I get by reading the books. And I go, well, I want to make something like that. How can I communicate that same feeling that I get to everybody? And so that's really, so if the show comes from a sincere place, not because you're trying to sell a show or you want to make money or you want to be a show creator or whatever, it's got to come from an honest place. So I think that's what it makes a big difference.
The authenticity always
That's it.
shines through.
Absolutely.
That's a good one.
That's
That's a
it.
good one to end on.
Yep.
Yeah, you know what we should have ended on is a Lazzo music, but you didn't send me anything, Lazzo. Jesus.
Well, real quick, I want to know what Lazzo's listening to. I want to know what Genndy is watching. So let's end with that.
Go ahead, Mike.
I'm not listening to anything. I'm music. Playboy Cardi hasn't put anything out. There's nothing.
All right. No music. What are you watching, Genndy?
What am I watching?
It doesn't got to be your favorite. Just what are you even curious enough to check out on Netflix, on whatever?
I really, I'll plug it because I really enjoyed Sex Education. That show. It's
on Netflix.
nice.
Yeah.
It's really good. It's like like an English adult John Hughes.
Right.
And I've never, because I love John Hughes stuff, and I've never seen anybody get that kind of tone, and it's authentic. Like talking about authentic, it's got authentic characters, really fun to watch. It's different. It was great. That was probably last time I was kind of blown away by a show, I think.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yep.
All right.
Wow.
We'll let everybody go.
It was great. It was great to see y'all.
Yeah.
Good to see you.
Damn.
It's good to see you.
Holy
too,
shit,
Lazzo.
this was legendary. Thanks for coming on
We play
anytime.
golf
You guys-
on Zoom. Do you think we can make that happen?
Lazzo, you should drop your gamer tag. I don't know if you got a gamer tag yet, but you should drop so people in the chat can play you.
No, I'm just watching DayZ on Twitch all the time.
There it is. All right. We'll see y'all next week. Thanks.
Bye, everyone.
See ya.
I can see you watching, nigga. Little do they know I got that sound. Little do they know I run the town. Yeah. When I go, I go. When I play, I say. When I do, I do.